Here's what I love doing. There's anytime someone asks me if we should re-sign Darnold in the offseason, I'm like, let's just have fun with this season.
I know.
This is our current team. I appreciate wanting to look at the future and think ahead, but sports fans do that too much. They don't live in the now. They live in the what's next.
They live for the NFL offseason.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
NFL fans do live for the NFL offseason.
They love the draft more than the fucking Super Bowl or the regular season games. I'm telling you.
Are those them 10 boys?
Nope.
Good morning.
Thank you for watching.
10K TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV, a special edition Christmas Day episode coming to you from 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, just joined by journalist Jake. Jake, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day, and we hope that instead of any classic holiday or Christmas movie you have on, you have us on the TV instead.
Yeah, you
Us
know what? Just
belligerent.
show this to your grandparents and your nephews and nieces who probably haven't heard people swear before.
Yeah, any Christmas party you have, just throw us on. You know, we're belligerent and crazy, so we're with the Christmas spirit festivities.
Also, if you watch on YouTube, I'm wearing a beard. I'm wearing a Santa outfit, and I don't know if it's supposed to go. I don't think it's supposed to go above my nose. I think it's supposed to stay below my nose.
I think so. I think
I'm fat enough to be Santa.
You're supposed to have like the mustache look. It's supposed to give like you have the mouth, whatever, and then it's supposed to give a little bit of the illusion that you got the beard. But yeah, it probably is meant for someone with a bigger, fatter face.
Yeah,
so it spreads across more.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You can see the strings and everything.
Yeah, it's fine though.
At least
it looks fine.
At least Minnesota sports fans get to watch the Timberwolves today.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if that's a good thing right now, which we're gonna get into.
Yeah, I think it's funny because like we get a Christmas Day game for the first time in years, and they typically give those the teams that have a lot of hype and you know a lot of hype and energy around the team and talent and all that, and they obviously have to schedule it before the season. They're thinking that we're going to have another year like we did last year, and now we're just going to be one of the laughing stocks on Christmas Day. Maybe, I mean, hopefully not, but.
We're gonna get into that later. Let's start with the Vikes, the seemingly only positive sign of light right now in our world. Beat the Seahawks 27-14 and 13-2, tied for the lead of the NFC. Sam Darnold. It's just this story continues to get better.
Like who'd have thought at this point of the year, like in the spring when we got rid of Kirk Cousins or he signed with Atlanta, who'd have thought? Not me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought we'd have been 13-2 and vying for a number
one
seed.
13-2. I've said 13-3 way too many times today. I don't know why.
Well, maybe are you saying that we're going to lose to the Packers? If anyone tells me at the beginning of the year that they thought the Vikings were going to be at this position with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, getting rid of Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, everything. If you told me right now, like, oh no, I knew they were going to be 13-2. You are delusional and you need to be tested for drugs.
Yeah.
Because first off, you probably never said that. I think the most I got out of people were like, come on, we can be a little optimistic. You know, Sam Darnold under a KOC coach team, you know, maybe I could see maybe 9 or 10 wins. You know, that was the most optimistic answer I got, which was way more optimistic than I thought. I thought we were going to maybe get 5 wins. So they're already doing way better than I thought. But if someone tells me they're like, we're going to be a number 1 seed in the NFC with Sam Darnold, I would have been like, dude, no way in hell. Like, it wasn't going to happen. But here we are.
Right. It's crazy. In the game yesterday, Dallas Turner with his first career INT. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought he already had one. But I guess that was his first one. But that's not to say he hasn't made big impacting plays.
That's almost as big of a deal as when he caught that really small fish. Remember this summer?
Oh yeah, that's right. He was really happy about that.
He was like gripping it with his fist.
Oh, he got shit on for that too.
He's like, look at me, I'm a Minnesotan now. I caught a fish.
Yeah,
it was literally like a minnow.
It was a small fish. He was gripping it. I mean, it reminded me of the photo that we had brought up. Maybe it had to be a couple years ago.
Oh, the fat guy with the fish?
Fat guy with the crappie? Looks like a Minnesotan.
Yep.
but he looks drunk and high as fuck, and he's in an ice shack on like Red Lake, and he's gripping it just like Dallas Turner was. So maybe there is something to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, he got shit on for that, but he's come a long way from gripping the fish to that. Now he's gripping footballs.
Yeah.
From the opposing
And
team.
he's gripping other teams' testicles. I'm still Reich hard from Will Reicher's performance yesterday. But here's a funny nugget that I guarantee you didn't see on the broadcast that I actually saw watching the highlights today. So I'm going to show you this, and Sarge will have to put this on the screen for the YouTube viewers. This poor ball boy who's just incidentally walking down the sideline absolutely eats shit.
Yeah.
So it lands right by him.
He totally ate shit. Speaking of just like pessimistic fans, I was mentioning this. We were at Bunny's to watch the game on Sunday. My dad found every like negative thing in the game to like text me about. Like, well, first off, it started Saturday night with Wild Suck. And we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're struggling. And then at 4:30, I think this is when we maybe had a 4 and out. My dad says, "Are you kidding me?" Even though at this point it was still a competitive game. I think we were maybe even still winning by 3. Then my dad says, "Defense sucks." This was throughout the game. This wasn't like right away. 4 and out, you watch. Right when we went out on the field, and I think we got a field goal. So and then my dad says, "Wow," in reference to, I think, one of our touchdowns to take the lead.
Probably the Darnold Jettas touchdown.
The Darnold Jettas touchdown. My dad says, "Too much time on the clock for Smith." And
Which
then
was not true.
Our pass defense isn't going well. That's what he says.
Geno Smith threw it right to us, which was huge, which is rare.
And then all these kind of negative things throughout the game. And then my dad says, "Yes!" Exclamation point.
The Vikings are tied for the first seed in the NFC, control their own destiny. If they beat the Packers this week, which that game just got flexed to 3:25 p.m. Also, the most probably expensive ticket in Vikings history. I believe what is the get-in price?
It's like about $500 right now, as of Monday as we're recording this.
But XP Tickets.
Yeah.
That's
XP Tickets.
one of our partners. Sorry, just XP that sells tickets.
Yes.
The brand is XP.
Yes.
If you go to XP's website, you can get the best prices you can find, and they'll save you up to 20% compared to other ticket brokers. You can also use promo code 10KTAKES, 10K TAKES for an additional 15% off if you're a new customer. But it's a pretty expensive ticket, which is nuts. I've also heard that Jair is already inactive for tonight's game. We're recording this on Monday night. So Vikings fans are saying he's already dodging, he got to do the gritty over Jettas last year, and it was like his Super Bowl. And now he's just going to be hurt every week and is just going to keep dodging it.
That's karma. That's curse. Or he's faking it. And just like people were saying about Patrick Mahomes' alleged fake injury.
Right.
It could be,
his annual high ankle sprain.
Yep. The annual. Yep.
But here you go. Ready? So the Vikings have not lost a game since October 24th. And here's what's crazy. Here's a list of events that have happened since then. The Gophers beat ranked Illinois, and pretty much every game after that in football. That felt like ages ago.
It did.
Halloween has happened since then, since the last time the Vikings have lost.
Yeah.
The election, which that felt like forever ago. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. Vikings signing Daniel Jones. Thanksgiving. Gopher football winning the Axe. And Christmas Day today will have happened since the last time the Vikings have lost a game.
It's bizarre.
Okay, final thing that at least I have on the Vikings is KOC deserves Coach of the Year at this point. I don't even know if that's an argument. First coach in Minnesota Vikings franchise history to have multiple 13-plus win seasons, and he's done it in 3 years.
Well, I know that people have been throwing it around like he's the K-Oach of the year. You can spell the coach Koach. He's literally the coach, cock-oach. Cock of the year.
He's the cock of the year. Big cock of the year.
Big cock of the year. The Kevin O'Connell Award, the cock award.
Yep.
So
yep.
If Sarge was here, he'd be like, I actually have seen the cock award. The real one. Okay. Shout out to Sarge.
He pretends like he's never seen the AVNs.
Yeah, he's like, what are the AVNs?
Seen the AVNs.
Dude, you've seen the AVNs.
Sarge could tell you the 2014 best double penetration actress of the year.
Best ass or whatever.
Yeah, he
best
could.
MILF or...
Final note on the Vikings. I know I said that was the final note. Listen to our Christmas song, Let It Skull.
Yeah, Let It Skull, Let It Skull, Let It Skull.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's on all streaming platforms. Wherever you stream your music, it's on there. There's the music video on YouTube.
Yep.
Just type in
Sometimes
Let
it's
It
on
Skull.
Fox 9. It's showing up on there every now and then.
It's been showing up on Fox 9. They got it going, so it's the perfect song for Christmas season and into New Year's. You don't have to. You can listen to it after get it going in and hyping up for the Packers game. So
that one's rated G, by the way.
Yeah,
There's no swear words in that one.
There's no swear words.
That one's Christmas appropriate.
Yeah, it is very appropriate. So you can turn that on today as you're listening to this with your family.
Yes.
They'll be very proud that it's very clean of us. So, but just we don't want to give your family the wrong idea that we're this super clean brand because of this song. And they start looking us up and they find someone talking about porn and porn awards.
Right.
That's going to happen.
It's a switch we can flip on and off.
Yeah,
we're flipping the switch on for this of pretending like functioning members of society.
Yeah, we can do that because we do it during our day jobs. We can do it again. It's like we are literally like Clark Kent during the day.
Yep.
Superman, but our Superman is belligerent, drunk.
Yeah, and screaming about the Vikings.
Immature, screaming about the Vikings, swearing, and someone, not us necessarily, talking about porn. So,
Right.
Yeah, that's us or getting tased or whatever it might be. That's us. Yeah, if you want to count that as being a superhero, then we are.
And finally, too, I know that on this episode that we do every Wednesday, it's more of a recap of what happened. But if you want to hear a preview, we're going to be bringing in our friends Adam and Kevin to be doing a weekly preview of the NFC North in general. Specifically this Friday, look out for a Viking Packer preview. Kevin's a Packers fan. Adam's a Vikings fan. They get very feisty. They're going to be doing a breakdown of Sunday's game, so listen for that on anywhere you get your podcasts, here on the 10K TV feed or on YouTube. But let's talk about the Wild. All right. We were positive for a little bit there. Now it's time to get a little negative.
Yeah. Because you can't have one thing going well, and one thing does well in this state, the other can't.
Yeah,
so
it's a teeter.
It's just,
Balancing
what is it? It's the law.
Yeah,
it's a law
is that Murphy's Law? What comes up must come back down?
Yep. So it's Minnesota's law.
Yes.
Of energy or something.
Yeah, you can't be like a Boston or
Yeah, it's Minnesota's sports law of inertia.
The Minnesota Wild have lost 5 of their last 6, 4 in a row.
Haven't they lost like their last 6 of 8 too or something?
Probably.
Even further back.
I tried to use the least insulting stat I could.
Yeah, so I should have brought that up.
4 in a row. We'll just
we lost
5 of the last 6 is not good either. Let's just say 4 in a row.
Yeah, hopefully by the time you're listening to this, they'll have beat the Blackhawks. But
Right,
you
they're
don't
playing
know.
right now, and Sarge will be insufferable if they do win.
If
the
Blackhawks
Blackhawks do win. So
Yep. We don't want to hear that.
we don't want to hear that.
But here's the thing. Here's the whole thing with the Wild. So we were talking about how they were playing We were talking last year, they could have made the playoffs, but all their top players kept getting injured, so they couldn't keep up. And we're like, this year we're injured and we're still playing well. But that finally caught up to us.
Yes.
The bottom line AHL guys, no offense to guys like Devin Shore and these guys, but they don't have they're not sustainable right now on this team.
They're tough.
NHL.
They're tough matchups against a Winnipeg or a Vegas or a Dallas or even Utah.
It's going to catch up to us.
You're going to lose games when you don't have your top stars on the ice all the time.
Well, you had Eck. Eck
We're
is
really
out currently.
missing Eck. I've been telling everyone that's the worst injury of them all because that guy literally does everything.
Yeah.
He does the penalty kill. He does the power play. He wins faceoffs. He gets in the greasy areas in front of the net. You need that guy on your team to win games.
He's your point guard.
Yeah.
And he intimidates the hell out of teams,
just
too.
pisses people off.
Pisses people off. He gets in team sets. We don't have a guy like that. You have Middleton out, right?
Right.
And then even a guy like Jacob Lauko being out sucks.
Foligno's got to do all the fighting work.
Yeah. It's like, and then you can't put that all on him. He actually creates plays and can score.
He's also trying to score goals so we don't lose.
Exactly. So that should be up to Middleton and, Eck. Eck obviously scored goals, but, you need Foligno can't have all that pressure of being the bad guy on him.
Right.
Especially because he can't always, he's not always a bad guy. He's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. But I think just these injuries, how well they were just playing sneakily too good for having all these guys out.
Yeah.
And who the fuck was, no offense to this guy, but we were at the game last week against Florida when we lost 6-1.
Yeah.
We saw Brendan Gauntz.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know who that was either until he came
No
up.
one know who. I didn't know who the hell that was.
I think Russo even made a joke about that.
No one knew. It's like
They just created him he's a creative player.
he was a creative player in NHL, and like this, no offense to this guy, he's way more successful than we are.
He's at the
way
top
more
level
athletic.
of his sport. That's
he's making
cool.
six figures
But
at least.
I've not heard of his name before.
But in the scope of the NHL and everything, never heard of the guy. And every other team's Brendan Gaunce, whoever that is not even probably close to touching the NHL.
Right.
It's because when we get injuries, like we have a good team when we're not injured, but with our cap space situation, we have to go deep into our AHL lineup.
I mean,
where other teams don't have to do that because we can't afford those sustainable average guys that still you need to pay a little bit to get them on the team. It's just annoying.
I'm surprised Billy G isn't trying to poach your Gopher team. I wouldn't be surprised if he's sitting in the stands, scouting talent, being like, all right, boys, who wants to make 300 or what's the league minimum, 750?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it, actually. I'd drop out of school and throw it all away for a chance to make $750,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Even if your career doesn't make it, you go back to school, you reinvest that $750K into fart coin or something.
Yeah, or money mutual funds.
Yeah, money mutual funds. Oh, it's gone.
And it's gone. So maybe it isn't we're the best, but I don't know.
They got to figure it out. This was depressing to see. They were swept by Winnipeg in the season series for the second year in a row. So if you can't beat good teams, I just don't see us making it past the first round. But you know what? Another team. There was a person on the Athletic comment section on Russo's comments that said, "This is surprisingly positive. If you told me before the season they'd be 20-10 and 4 at Christmas time, I'd be thrilled. Overall, they've outperformed everyone's expectations so far." That's one way to spin it.
Kind of true, but the way I think if people thought if we were going to be 20-10, they would have kind of had a balanced
a little
season.
more spread out.
Spread out. We were up here, and then it's just dropping.
Yeah.
Like hawk to a coin.
Right.
Is what's happening here.
Streakiness like that is usually the Wild's demise.
They do that. This is what they've been doing since the Parisi Suter days in 2011. They'll have, and I'm hoping this is how I think our team makeup is a little different than those teams because we don't have a lot of depth outside of our top guys. But like we'd always start off really hot and then taper off around Christmas, New Year's, and then boost back up to get our hopes up and go to the playoffs. We always talk about it.
Everyone gets injured in March.
Yep. Everyone gets injured right before the playoffs.
Yep. And then half the team is playing banged up in the first round. The other half isn't even playing.
Yeah.
And we lose in the first round. Maybe not this year, Jake. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Why not us?
Fuck it. We're going to the Cup.
What is up, folks? It's Santa Claus here telling you about the North Pole's favorite beer of choice. It's Captain's Patch, made by Elm Creek Brewing and us. Well, actually, those guys there at 10K Takes. You can go to captainspatch.com, punch in your zip code to find out where to buy it near you. Also available at the XL Energy sections in 105, 115, and C13. It's on tap at Burger Mo's. It's a great gift for Christmas, even though Christmas is... Bring it to the New Year's party. There we go, because you're listening to this on Christmas Day. Bring Captain's Patch to the New Year's party. I brought it to the holiday party this weekend in a white elephant exchange. The guy who opened up my gift was so thrilled by his Captain's Patch that he was going to fight anyone who was going to try to take it from him because the beer is that good. So once again, thank you to Elm Creek Brewing for brewing this. Raspberry Lemon Shandy, our beer, Captain's Patch. Get it at the XL Energy Center, Burger Mo's, captainspatch.com. Our penalty kill is Swiss cheese. I feel like, Jake, has the penalty kill and the power play been bad since we've been alive? Has that ever changed? I mean, there's been times where it's been decent.
Better than others.
In recent years, but I just feel like since like the Mike Yeo days.
Oh, Mike Yeo.
The power play and the penalty kill of special teams have just not been there.
Mike Yeo was horrible. Every year it's brought up. Penalty kill sucks. Power play. I still remember.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, when I was going to my first Wild games as a kid when Jacques Lemaire was the coach, and granted we didn't have the best teams, I just still remember watching games specifically against Vancouver where we would just pass the puck around.
Right.
Nonstop. Not even shooting.
Right.
And my dad would be getting pissed and yelling, shoot. Everybody would be yelling, shoot. And there would be critical then. So even back then, I don't think it's ever been consistently good. There's always been problems with it. It's like, and that's the biggest part of the game. Those are the biggest parts of the game. Obviously, the penalty kill, you're down a player. it's vital that that's good. So you're not giving up a goal every fucking time you're down a player. And then power play, you have a man advantage. Let's score some goals here.
I think we've scored more 5-on-5 goals than power play. Like, I feel like our scoring percentage is better.
Probably.
I feel more confident 5-on-5 than I do on the power play to score a goal. Which is not good.
I felt the exact same way for like 10 years, and that isn't a good feeling. No. It's like, why are we doing better 5-on-5?
Yeah.
When statistically you have a man advantage, it just shows that teams' penalty kills are figuring our passing lanes out. It's like, this isn't difficult, folks.
Dude, we when I went to the game on Friday, against Utah, I think I sat in front of what was the worst example of shoot guy.
Yeah.
This guy was fucking wasted. But, I mean, every time we were on the power play, shoot the puck, shoot. And then if they were stick handling and trying to look for like a pass or a lane, you know how those kind of flip it back and forth, over the puck, and they'll look around and they'll pass. He just would say, quit dancing with it. I'm like, he's looking for a pass.
Yeah.
Final thing I'm going to say on the Wild is if we're not going to win for anyone else, we need to win games for whoever works on the graphics. Have you seen the graphics they've been doing game day where it's like one word? It's like a graphic design of...
I think so.
Like it'll say a long ways from the desert. And
or
it's
something.
Like a snowy wilderness, and it's a night shield buried in snow.
Yeah.
Those fucking rock.
Yeah.
And when someone sits there, I mean, I know they're probably getting paid, but when someone sits there and puts probably hours of work into those, and then we get shelled 5-0, that person's got to be questioning their job at least.
Oh, yeah, the newbies are in town.
Yeah, how sweet are those?
Yeah, these have been really cool.
Give that person a raise and win games for that person. That's your most valuable employee.
That's our
maybe next to Billy G and John Hines, I would say the next person up is the guy or girl who's making the graphics.
Because it's the most exciting or valuable asset right now are these graphics.
Regardless if we win or lose, those are going to rock.
Yeah.
Well, we're down. Talk about the Wolves, too. They haven't been the funnest watch. I guess they're losing less than the Wild, you could say.
It's a little more balanced, but they're still losing. Kind of hurt that they got killed in Cat's return.
Yep.
With the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes me start to think that trade maybe wasn't the greatest idea.
It's starting to look that way.
It's just started.
I know we talk about it every week,
but that's kind of like a definitive in his return.
Stick.
Yeah, before I was kind of like, I don't know if it is doing everything with their downfall right now, but I think it kind of does. I mean, how important he was, I think, just to the locker room and the team and the chemistry. I don't know. There's something going on. But it's like, but what pisses me off about the NBA that I've been seeing is it's just, I don't know, just the load management, players not giving, you see a lot of just no effort on the court by some players and just no defense, and star players and all that just not wanting to play because they just don't want to play. It's just getting on top of the Wolves doing this shit. It's just really turning me off to the NBA.
We were talking about it last week. The NBA is apparently at record low ratings this year.
Yeah.
Not no one, but it's not doing as well. Basketball in general is just not being as watched as it normally is.
And I think that has to go with the NBA. It's just, and I think I'm kind of going out. I don't know if you saw a rant from Colin Cowherd. I think it was a couple days ago or this week, but I think he hit it on the head. I don't mean to get political, but he's it's become so political too.
Yeah.
And people are they tune in. It's the most political league of all the leagues.
Right.
So people even if they agree with the politics that the NBA is pushing, they still don't want to hear about it. It's a sport. People use it to get away from it. They don't want to see all these people pushing these agendas and shit. And
shut up and dribble, right?
Shut up and dribble.
I just love Ant at this point is so frustrated, but he's gotten fined so many times for speaking from the heart and saying what he actually feels, to where now he's saying, this is what he said after the loss against the Knicks. He said, they're not going to like what I say, so I'm just going to keep my answers to myself. He's so beyond the point. We talked about it last week. He said this team is soft as hell. He's always swearing during press conferences. He's angry. He's trying like hell to be good and to carry this team, and it's just not great. The coaching hasn't been great. Rudy Gobert has been terrible from what I've heard. DiVincenzo, this part of the deal, Randall has had his flashes. I know there's plenty. Timberwolves fans want him traded. But DiVincenzo has not been great at all. So frankly, I happen to have an inside source who may or may not work in the Target Center, and they tell me at practices they watch him shoot, and it doesn't look like he knows how to shoot a basketball. This is crazy. They haven't scored more than 110 points. They've actually, in the last month, they've done it once, and they scored 111 in an overtime game. So, they're defensively, I think they're fine. Offensively, they cannot score. I mean, you can just look at it. Like last year, we'd have games where we'd win, we'd get 120 points, 130 points sometimes, 115. But this year, it seems like we barely even break 100 sometimes. We're scoring 92, which it's still a lot of points, but for the NBA, it's not.
That's really not a lot of points. That's college basketball numbers, honestly.
Yeah.
You don't do that shit.
No.
And then Julius Randle, looks like he doesn't even want to be out there. He's slow and sluggish. And didn't I see a quote that he said, in playing the Knicks or something, he said, I'm 30 or something. Yeah, here it is. Randall needed just 70 total words to respond to 7 different questions from reporters. Here's how the exchange went. This was before they faced the Knicks. So yeah, how much do you try to treat it like any other game? Randall, I will. How? Play basketball. This is ridiculous. Media, it's got to mean something. I mean, you were the face of the franchise. Randall, another game. What? And the media said, again, when you played the Lakers, it was more than another game. Randall said, right. The media is like, what's the difference there? Randall, I'm 30 years old.
I'm 12.
What the hell? Media, did the preseason game against the Knicks help with this at all? Randall, I didn't play.
Well, at least he's actually answering questions.
He was, and he wasn't swearing either.
Right?
So
Ant is just you guys aren't going to like what I'm going to say, so I'm just not going to say anything. Okay, so we're going to win the NBA Finals.
So we're going to win the NBA Finals. Hey, folks, if you're a fan of the show and you want to call in with any questions or comments or just general concerns about Minnesota sports or anything beyond, you can call our number at 651-300-2129. You can actually call or text that number. And we actually had a caller this week. You can be this guy.
This is Zach from Woodbury. If you had to sort the 4 professional coaches for Minnesota, that's Kevin O'Connell, Rocco Baldelli, Chris Finch, and John Hines, into the 4 Hogwarts houses, who goes in what house and why? Added bonus, you can do PJ Fleck. Love the show.
All right. I can answer that. Let's go Kevin O'Connell for Gryffindor. I think he's just the good guy. I think he's got the hero arc. He's always got a smile. He just seems like a good guy. And Gryffindor is, from what I remember, famously good at Quidditch. So, I think he is Gryffindor. Let's do Chris Finch as... Fuck, he's a beauty, too. So Slytherin is they're the bad house.
That's the evil house, right?
Yeah. I don't really know if anyone's evil.
You could say
Maybe Rocco?
Rocco, but he's a result of the Polads who are evil.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll do that. So Rocco has been, just like how Draco Malfoy,
yes,
his dad was an asshole. That's why
brainwashed.
he's an asshole. So he's been brainwashed by his predecessor.
Yes.
Or his older. So we'll go Baldelli is Slytherin. I don't know much about Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. I just know that they kind of just exist and are never really involved in anything. But I know Hufflepuff at one point was in a really important Quidditch match in one of the movies that they played Gryffindor in. It might have been a championship of sorts. So we'll go Chris Finch for Hufflepuff. And then Ravenclaw will go John Hines. Ravenclaw seems very under the radar, and I think the Wild are very under the radar. They're rebuilding. But I think they have the potential to be really good. And Ravenclaw... it might have the potential to be good. So thank you, sir, for the voicemail. Folks, reminder, call that number, text it, Jake, if you want to read it one more time.
Yeah, you can call or text 651-300-2129.
Yes,
call or text that number.
Great question. All right, final segment on this Christmas Day special of 10K TV. Pretty obvious based on how I'm dressed. It's Christmas. And for those who don't know, Santa Claus has what he calls a naughty and nice list every year. For those who have been nice, they get presents, joy, happiness. Those who have been naughty, a.k.a. apparently Minnesota sports fans every year because we get fucking coal. They get coal. So we're each going to name 3 people, 3 on the nice list, 3 on the naughty list each, and we'll see what we get for a list. So, Jake, let's start with you. Who's the first person you have on the nice list?
On the nice list, I have, which should be an obvious one, Sam Darnold.
Yep.
For leading us and obviously proving a lot of people wrong and adapting to this Kevin O'Connell system, but just being our Red Rocket for this year.
Yep.
And really going lights out, having great games, doing a lot better than we expected, and he does seem like a swell, nice guy. That he's like one of the boys too. So I got to give Sam Darnold as a definitely making the nice list.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. Along those lines, I have KOC. Big cock on the nice list. Coach of the year.
Yep.
Cock of the year.
Cock of the year.
It's just what he's done with the franchise is just insane. The fact that in his first 3 years, he's already broken a franchise record for best 2 seasons. Just, screams, extend him, pay him whatever he wants. Same with Brian Flores. Give him Lake Minnetonka. We've said that before. Give them whatever they want to get them to stay. Quezzy, too. I'll say it. Let's try to get that guy to stay. But nice list, KOC, to go along with mine.
I want to create controversy for no reason. My second one is Dave Grohl.
Okay.
We were like, what the fuck? He cheated on his wife. Hear me out, okay? The guy didn't let TMZ or any of these news outlets reveal it to his wife before she found out about it. He handled it. If you were going to have a child out of wedlock, he handled it in the best way to communicate it possible before TMZ or anyone handles it. And I also saw a report that him and his wife are spending time together for this holiday season.
Okay.
They will be together. So for someone to, have that's, being a crazy cheating scandal-like thing, he could handle it. He could have handled it way worse or tried to hide it. He came out on his own accord. Obviously, we are against what he did, but as a rock star for dealing with a lot of that shit, you know what? Makes good music, and he handled this situation the best anyone could. So you know what? He recovered. He's on the nice list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also going to stick with the theme of Minnesota sports. Yep. Kirill Kaprizov, nice list.
Yes.
He might be a bigger believer in Krampus than Santa Claus, just based on his European roots, but he's been carrying us this year, deserves the Hart Trophy, and is just a great all-around hockey player. Yeah. What else you got?
I got John Gruden.
Okay.
It's on my nice list.
Because he's nicey?
He is nicey. He's already nicey, and the guy has been absolutely electric since he's joined Barstool, obviously. He's always been a personality, but obviously for some of the things he has said in the past, especially over those emails, could be on the naughty list. For sure. And this could also be controversial. A lot of people say he said racist stuff, and he definitely did. But but you know what? Lately, he's feeling nicey, and I got to put him on the nice list just for his personality, all of his stories, and what's your 3-point stance?
He's made quite a comeback.
In
this media world, and we support it. Along the lines of football, my third one on the nice list is the Washington Commanders for beating the Eagles. So shout out to Washington for if there's an event where the Minnesota Vikings, went out and win that number 1 seed, it is because the Washington Commanders and the Buffalo Bills did God's work.
All right.
All right, naughty list.
Naughty list. Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Number 1.
Really?
Just first off, I don't know. It'll be funny to see on the graphic. People are going to get pissed.
Yep.
But 2,
you're going to
kind of ruin football.
Okay, the first person on my naughty list is Diddy.
Okay, of course, obviously. Well, clearly, obviously. Thanks, Diddy.
Okay, what's your second person on the naughty list?
It's probably just a family, multiple people. The Pohlads.
Oh yeah, damn, I didn't mention that.
Yeah, the Pohlads.
Yeah,
easily naughty list.
Yeah,
just another year of just not spending anything. Penny pinchers, despite having some of the biggest payroll in baseball, they have a top 5 payroll they could still utilize, and just still putting us in the dust, having one of the biggest collapses in MLB history in August into September, not paying for anything, just being, I think, kind of dicks about the whole thing. And they're trying to sell, but now they don't want to fully sell.
Right.
They want to partially sell. They got their
Of
hopes
course,
up.
it's a move taken out of Glenn Taylor's
Yeah.
playbook.
It's like they literally are just having this team for their job and for their banks. This is my job. I own a team. No, you want to actually win though in the Major League Baseball. They don't pay for anybody. They don't make any moves. Nothing. So the Pullheads, they've been on the naughty list probably forever.
My second one is Lions fans because they've just been so cocky and they've just been such dickheads. The first time that they're good in what feels like decades. And they just think they own everybody and think they're on top of the world and that they're the best shit in the world. And you know what? They are a good team. They have a good team. They have a good coach. They have a good offense. Their defense is banged up and they're still playing well. But they just act like such entitled dickheads about it. Like, literally pretend you've been there. Just pretend you've been there.
Yeah, they don't. They're just experiencing all this for the first time, and we've experienced several years of this where we still make the playoffs, and as disappointing as it has been, we're kind of looking at them like, what are you doing?
You're embarrassing yourself, buddy. If you win the Super Bowl, go ahead.
Go for it.
But you've earned it.
You're finally relevant just in the regular season. Congratulations.
Yes.
You're now one of like what every team has done in the NFL for like the last 30 years at least one time.
Yeah.
You know, like you're finally there, and they don't know. When you do that, you're just destined to lose in the playoffs because then you're going to get so much shit.
And everyone's going to rub it in twice as hard.
Yeah.
I've seen people say, like, the Detroit Lions playoff elimination is going to hit like crack. And it's going to now.
It's going to be great, especially
Because of
right
their
now.
fans. Their players are so fun and easy to root for. Their coach is such a guy I want to root. I want to root for everything but their fans.
Yeah.
All right. What is your third naughty list?
Myself.
Oh, okay.
Myself. I got to put myself in the naughty list. I've been a nasty girl.
Yeah?
No, I've just been naughty in general in everything I do. Like Nashville almost lost my wallet, my phone, and everything.
Yep.
From just partying too hard, and it's been a crazy year at Green Day concert. Ended up in the medical tent for no reason. Probably for a reason. Almost got killed there. I think I got drugged outside of the loop in
Well, that
Minneapolis.
one at least isn't your fault.
Not my fault, but
It's still.
my mental brain when I was drugged was doing some crazy shit, running into the woods behind a gas station allegedly. I just have had a crazy year.
Okay, my final one to close us out here is 8 p.m. puck drops when the game is local. I get that it's the whole TNT thing. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb that when we have the luxury of playing a game at home, that we have to play almost catering to like a West Coast timeline. The fact that when the game is in Minnesota and I live a 10-minute walk away from the arena here in St. Paul, that I have to stay up till 11 p.m. when the game is done to watch it when it's at home. When it's on the West Coast, when the games are, or in Canada, it is what it is. I get it. I get the time zones are a thing. When the games are at home, I shouldn't have to stay up later than a human being who has to work in the morning shift to stay up when the games are home because TNT. And they say, oh, it's an 8:30 puck drop or whatever. No, it's never an 8:30. It's always 8:55 or almost 9 by the time they drop the puck because the first game is always going to go long, especially if you get real diddied and the puck and the game before goes to overtime or God forbid a shootout, then you're starting at 9:10 p.m. local time for a home game.
Yeah.
Remember when the entire Dallas series for the playoffs, I know us and Stars fans don't get along well, but as members of the Central Time Zone, we banded together to talk about how fucking stupid that was. That we were playing another team in the Central Time Zone, and our puck drops weren't until 8:30, sometimes 9. Like, remember that first game in Dallas? We went to a lot of overtimes, but it was still like 1 a.m. by the time the game was over.
Yep.
If we're in our time zone, we shouldn't be playing late games. So NHL, you're on the naughty list for that one.
It's almost midnight when you get home. Like, that's ridiculous after a game like that. So
Yeah.
not fun. Yeah, that's definitely naughty list material for sure.
All right, folks, that does it for another episode of 10KTV. We hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Also, make sure to go to our website, 10ktakesmn.com. Go to our shop, view our blogs. Make sure to check out some of our other stuff that we got going on socials. You can go to 10K Takes on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and also check out Captain's Patch, captainspatch.com. Type in your zip code to find out where to get it near you, as well as the XL Energy Center, sections 105. I was also told this week that it's 115, not 113. We've been saying 113 this whole time.
It's that's 115 because we were sitting in like 114, 115, and we saw it at 115.
Yep.
Okay.
So it only took us 3 months of fucking that up, but better
People
late.
could still find it eventually.
Yeah, C13, club level.
Yeah.
So, folks, thanks so much for hanging with us this year. We look forward to seeing you in 2025 for our next episode, and we'll see you next time.